They call me White Boy. Grew up in the hood, Long Beach, California. My mom's, she was on the run, fled Miami to get away from my pops. He was a monster, but that's a story for another day. She ended up with a gangbanger, her new man, Deshaun, but he was different. He had a good heart under all that street hard. We landed in Long Beach when I was just a baby. Mom's worked whatever job she could find, and Deshaun ran with the local set, but he always made sure I knew the difference between right and wrong. He taught me how to survive out here. Told me I gotta be tough, gotta be smart. I listened. Growing up in Long Beach, it was like living in the belly of the beast. The streets, they had a life of their own. You had to learn the rules quick, or they swallowed you whole. For me, it started with basketball. I wasn't bad at it, actually. I was pretty damn good. It was my escape, my ticket to stay out of the real trouble. But the streets got a way of pulling you back in. They called me White Boy 'cause, well, look at me. I was the only white kid on the block. But I earned my place. I could hold my own, whether it was on the court or in a fight. And believe me, I had to throw down plenty of times to prove I wasn't no punk. By the time I was 12, I was already running with Deshaun's crew. Nothing major, just little errands, but enough to get a taste of the life. I saw things no kid should see, did things no kid should do. But Deshaun always had my back. He made sure I didn't get too deep, not until I was ready. Trouble, though, it found me easy. Like that night when I was 14. It was supposed to be a regular night, just hanging out with the homies. But then shit went sideways. We were hungry, had no cash, and somebody got the bright idea to jack a pizza delivery guy. Seemed simple enough, right? But it went all wrong. Dude fought back harder than we expected. I don't even remember pulling the knife, but I did. Next thing I knew, he was bleeding and we were running. Cops picked me up later that night. They charged me with attempted murder. I was just a kid, but the system didn't care. They threw the book at me. I ended up at Schumann Juvenile Detention Center. 5 years, they said. 5 years away from everything I knew, locked up with a bunch of other lost kids. Schumann was a beast of its own. You had to be tougher, smarter, meaner than you ever thought possible just to survive. But I was ready. Deshaun's lessons, they kept me sharp. I wasn't about to let this place break me. First day in, I knew I had to make my mark. I found the biggest guy in the yard and picked a fight. Stupid, yeah, but it worked. Nobody messed with me after that. I spent my days working out, playing ball, keeping my head down. Nights, I'd think about my mom's, Deshaun, the life I left behind. I promised myself I'd get out, make something better. I owed it to them. Over the years, I saw a lot of kids come and go. Some made it out, some didn't. Schumann had a way of chewing you up and spitting you out worse than you came in. But I stayed strong. I focused on my game, on keeping my mind right. I knew if I could do that, I could make it. By the time I was 18, I was ready to face the world again. I walked out those gates a different person. Harder, smarter, but with a fire inside. I wasn't gonna let my past define me. I was gonna be more than just White Boy from Long Beach. I was gonna be somebody. The streets were still the same when I got back, but I wasn't. Deshaun was waiting for me. A little older, a little wiser. He had a plan, a way for us to get out for good. But first I had to find my place again. I had to show everyone that White Boy was back, and I wasn't to be messed with. So here I am, back in the belly of the beast, ready to take on whatever comes my way. This is just the beginning. The world better be ready, 'cause White Boy ain't going down without a fight.